Welcome to another episode of How'd We Gay Here. I'm your host, George Azar. I thought it would be a great break from exposing the Christian agenda to illuminate the gay agenda. Let's talk about the history of Pride. During this time of year, the streets are filled with colorful demonstrations of inclusivity and celebration of sexual identity. Corporations seize upon the marketability of gay pride, changing their logos and providing merchandise to celebrate the festivities. It's easy for our generation to get lost in the bliss of it all, not realizing the struggle for pride was birthed out of much anger, torment, and revitalization to recognize the dignity in all human life. It all started with a violent raid on the Stonewall Inn, setting a new standard for the handling of gay rights issues across the nation. On June 28, 1969, police conducted a routine raid on their gay bar crackdowns at the Stonewall Inn in the Greenwich Village district of New York City. Since raids were wildly common, and the typical response was passivity from the gay community, the police were not ready for a violent 2-day siege of the place. Gay people stood their ground for the first time, and it caught the attention of the nation. Prior to this activism, gay people were denied basic human dignity, being fired from their workplace, dishonorably discharged from the military, and even denied advertising rights by outlets simply for being gay. From that point on, gay rights took off. Gay rights organizations began to spring up. Newspapers and television broadcast stations were being held accountable for their homophobic practices, and rallies and marches were being conducted across the nation's largest cities. Kiss-ins were a common occurrence in restaurants that refused to serve homosexuals. Most profound, the American Psychiatric Association voted to remove ego-dystonic sexual orientation from the list of mental disorders in 1973. A new era for gay rights was emerging, and it brought about a mighty force. Still, homosexuality was still considered a crime in many states decades after this upheaval, and the progress towards justice continues to persist today. This is why it is important to know our past, to be a guiding force in our continued quest towards inclusivity. Pride is a direct reflection of the struggle for equity and equality. Although being gay was previously seen as a mental disorder and thus treated as such by law enforcement, these antiquated beliefs are still firmly held in religious circles, especially evangelical communities. Pride was birthed out of relentless strife to be treated as dignified human beings. So, the next time a straight person asks you why there isn't a straight pride, ask them a time in history when they were discriminated simply for being straight.